Hello and welcome to another episode of Mac Stories Unwind, our return episode from our holiday break. I'm John Voorhees and I have Federico with me. Hey, Federico.
Hello and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Back. Yeah, we're back. It's good to talk to you. It's been a while since you and I have spoken. So, you know, we should talk, I think, Federico, before we get into all the techie stuff and the media. What did you do to unwind during your holiday break?
During my holiday break, I did a lot of unwinding. I listened to more music than I played with video games.
Oh, interesting.
I listened to a lot of music. This will be part of our conversation.
Oh, good.
For our episode of App Stories about our holiday projects and how they went.
Uh-huh.
Mine went in some unexpected directions, I would say.
Cool.
So I did listen to a lot of music. I read a lot. A lot of articles, and I played Metroid Prime 4. So that's mostly and then I just spent a lot of time with Sylvia, with the dogs, with family, with friends, just regular in real life unwinding, I guess.
Very nice. Did you finish Metroid Prime?
No.
It's a big game.
game. No.
I played a little fewer games than I expected as well. Part of it was that I was unwinding by coding, getting back into coding in a way, in kind of a different way, which we'll also be talking about on App Stories a little bit, for the first time in like 10 years. And it actually scratched an itch that I didn't know needed to be scratched. And I find actually doing that kind of stuff really in its own weird way relaxing. But you know, aside from sort of the techie projects that we were both working on over the holidays, I went to a basketball game. I've got the Davidson College.
Nice. Okay.
Davidson College Wildcats. I went to a game at the very beginning of the break with a couple of my kids, and I went to Duke for college, which is a big basketball school here in North Carolina, and I have kind of fallen by the wayside in terms of college sports. Davidson is not a fantastic school, although it is where Steph Curry, who's one of the biggest stars in the NBA, where he got his start, and I just enjoyed going to the game. I mean, it was. I don't even remember who they played at this point. That's how little I really cared about what was going on. But it was exciting. Unfortunately, all the students from the college had left for their holiday break, so it was a little quiet compared to some of the games that they have. I saw a bluegrass Christmas band, which was kind of an interesting thing. This was also at the college that had a concert in a little music hall, which was fun. These are the kind of like analog type things I like doing after I've been staring at screens for so long, is go listen to some live music, taking some kind of event. And in the winter, indoor sports and music, those are probably the most, obvious things to do around here. So those were both really good. I enjoyed that. And of course, I had my kids home and we just enjoyed watching some movies and hanging out and going out and some good meals and that kind of thing.
Nice. I also went to see a movie last night, which will also be my pick for this episode. Good. Yeah. Before we get to our picks, I think you want to talk about CES?
A little bit. I obviously did not go to CES because as we record this, I am sitting in my home office. Yeah. And I decided not to for a couple of reasons. One, CES is something that's easy to cover if you have a big team, like you're The Verge and you've got like a dozen people or more on the ground, both looking at things and writing. If you're by yourself, it's hard just to cover the ground, let alone do any kind of writing or podcast or anything. Plus, it started the day after my birthday, and I was like, I don't want to fly out to Las Vegas on my birthday and then spend 3 days pushing my way through crowds during flu season. So I decided to stay home and do it the old-fashioned way, the way I've done it for many years, which is just combing through press releases, seeing some of the articles that other people are publishing and doing that kind of thing. And I would give this CES like a B. It's not like a great CES in the sense that I don't get very excited about people shoveling AI into every gadget imaginable, which is a big theme of this year's CES.
Yes. And also robots. Robots
is a big theme. Yeah. Robots are a little more fun because robots, the robots you see are usually vastly overhyped. A lot of them are vaporware.
Yes.
SwitchBot, of all companies, has a rebranded Chinese robot that they say they're going to sell. They're going to take pre-orders, and they say it can cook you breakfast, it can fold your laundry, it can do all these things, which seem very implausible given kind of where the state of humanoid type robots are. But they showed it off to get some hype. SwitchBot is famously known for having a little mechanical Internet of Things connected device that turns physical light switches up and down. I mean, that was how they got that level of simplicity is how they got their start. And now they're working on humanoid robots. They also did a little like pendant pin that clips to the collar of your shirt that will listen to you constantly as you talk and go throughout your day and feed that to AI, which I think those are all just kind of a bad idea personally. Probably the best thing, the thing that we look forward to every year is you guys talked about this many years ago on Connected, the Nib Nib cat.
The Nib Nib, yes.
The little cat toy that nibbled on your fingers.
Yeah.
And that same company from China, I believe, has also come out with things like a pillow that breathes.
I didn't know that it was the same company.
It's all the same company.
Weird stuff every year.
And last year I actually saw their booth. They're very savvy about it because they always do like the preview thing for the press the day before the official festivities take off. And so they have, in the past, they've had a breathing pillow. They've had a pillow with a cat tail, but no head. It's just like a headless cat pillow. And then they had these like creepy looking little monkey things that you're supposed to clip to a purse or something that's head turned and its eyes moved. It's like little robots you put on a bag. And this year they came out with Baby Fufu, which Baby Fufu
I love it.
Looks a little bit like a gummy bear. It's like a little bear that has no very indistinct features and a little hole where its mouth is that looks designed for little fingers to go into. That's actually a fan that they say is very safe for little babies. And it blows air on.
So do you know what the purpose of the blowing of the air is?
Just to cool off the baby. Because I think this is like designed. I'm not sure if this company is Japanese or Chinese. I can't remember. I can't recall. But you see a lot of, especially I know in Japan, you see a lot of people in the summer months with vests that have fans built into them or other little, handheld fans that they blow at themselves because it gets so very, very hot in places like Tokyo. So this is meant to cool off your baby. I think a couple of years ago, they also did a little bear that was similar to this that hung on the edge of your mug and cooled down your coffee or tea. It would blow into your tea for you.
Okay.
And so now they've just adapted it for children and say that it's safe, that it won't like chop their fingers when they put their fingers in the mouth, although it looks designed to attract little fingers.
Right.
But yeah, that was probably the weirdest thing we've seen. But I guess the cool things I saw, the things that I really am kind of looking forward to, I think that the 8BitDo flip pad
that's interesting.
Is very cool. We'll talk about that more on NPC, so listen to that when it comes out next week. It's a flip up vertical oriented gamepad that powers off of your USB port on the bottom of your iPhone that's coming out later this year. There's also the Ugreen U400 Smart Lock, which is the first one that finally takes advantage of ultra wideband, which means that it can tell which direction you're approaching your door from. So whether you're inside your house or outside your house. So like if you walk by your front door, it's not going to unlock. But if you're outside and the door is locked and you approach it, when you get within 6 feet, it'll unlock automatically without you having to do anything. And I've been kind of waiting on, I really do want to get a smart lock, but I've been watching and waiting because I could tell that it was too early. And I think we might finally be getting there. And this might be the lock that I finally pull the trigger on and see if I want to go for it. Two more things I'll mention. One is was not in my roundup on Mac Stories, which I can link in the show notes, but Satechi is doing a Thunderbolt 5 hub that's basically the exact same dimensions as a Mac Mini. And what I like about some of these hubs that people are doing now is that they will take SSDs. They'll take, those what is it, NVMe or whatever?
NVMe, yeah.
NVMe M2.
Like an M2 2280 or
something like that. Usually, I didn't look to see what the exact specs were, but it's usually something like that. One of the standard specs. And you can put that in there for additional storage. You also get things like SD card slots. Obviously, you get the Thunderbolt 5 ports and some other USB connections. And that can be, I think that those are super valuable if you have a Mac Mini. But even if you're, using something with more ports, it can be nice when you dock at your desk with a laptop or something to have those extra connections to run different accessories. And then the last thing I guess I'll mention are AR glasses, which I feel like this might be the year where AR glasses really kind of become more mainstream, because I think that these companies have finally kind of locked into what people use them for.
Yep.
Between using them as a large computer screen or gaming in particular, and the field of view and color and brightness has all gotten better year over year. And actually this year, the price went down a little bit on at least one of the X-Real models, kind of their base model, which I think is important because these are generally pretty expensive products. I mean, even with the price reduction, that model is $450, which is still a pretty good size investment. But they and Vitcher have both shown off some pretty interesting glasses, including some that are very similar to like what Meta's doing, that are not meant to be like covering your eyes and creating a screen in front of you. They're meant to be worn in your everyday life and work as both speakers and video cameras.
Yeah, I can tell you that. So the robots have been on Italian TV a lot.
I bet
like
they have.
they've done like these little segments about the robots for like 2 days in a row at this point. And it's always like the LG one. What's it called? Cloyd or something like that?
Cloyd, yeah.
Which is kind of like Claude, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
So Cloyd has been on TV a lot, and they show this robot like very slowly folding the laundry or very slowly emptying a dishwasher, like grabbing the things. Which I mean, I don't know. Well, maybe they're useful, maybe not. I mean, but I am really interested in the new. We're gonna talk about these, the X-Real 1S. On MPC. I kind of want to try those, but especially I want to try the X-Real Neo, the new dock that they have, but it's not available in Italy for some reason.
No, really?
I can order the 1S already, and they ship next month, I think, but I cannot get the Neo dock.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, the dock, it's like a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, plus it has the ability to attach like a Steam Deck or a Switch or any of those other gaming handhelds to it, which is, that's an important thing if you're going to use it for gaming.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the CES roundup. There's also an excellent article that you published on Mac Stories.
Thanks.
This week with a bunch of highlights, like serious stuff and the more funny and weird things.
Yeah, there's lots of funny and weird. I think people should embrace CES. I hear a lot of people grumble about CES. You know what? CES is weird and it's gross in its own way, but it's also, I don't know. I think it's kind of wonderful for being weird.
And you've been there, so
I've been there.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll go back someday.
You'll go back, maybe next year.
Maybe.
So I have a pick. I went to see Avatar: Fire and Ash at the movies last night with two friends of mine, and it's a really enjoyable movie. It's a visual spectacle, long film. We've been there, like we went there at 8:30. Okay, 8:30 p.m.
It's probably like an hour of previews before it started.
30 minutes of previews and advertisements and trailers.
Yeah.
Let me see, because I texted Sylvia when I was done. We left the movie theater, let's see, at
11:30?
No.
Later?
Half past midnight.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, man. We basically been there 4 hours.
Yeah, wow.
And there was like a 5-minute break in between, 10-minute break. Really enjoyable movie, picks up right where The Way of Water left off.
Yeah.
I will not bore you with all the names of the main characters of Avatar. There's obviously still Jake Sully, there's still Colonel Quaritch, and there's still the people of Earth trying to colonize Pandora. It's the usual stuff. Now there's a new tribe, this different tribe of Pandora, the people of what are they named? Like
fire people? Is that what?
The fire and ash people. They're called the ash people, the Manquan, I think. Okay. And they're led by Varang, and so she's this new enemy in this movie. I actually preferred it to The Way of Water.
Oh, okay.
I think it was better paced, and I think they put more. I think they dug a little deeper into the side characters. Maybe it's not a good way to frame it, but they are not the main protagonist.
Yeah.
I think it was more balanced. They still have the usual structure of the first movie and the second movie of like, at the end, there's like, the movie ends with this giant fight, because it always does, between the Na'vi and the people from Earth. And there's always like the ebb and flow of this fight is always the same. Like it starts off and it seems like the Na'vi are winning, and then oh no, the people from Earth are striking back, and maybe we're screwed. And at the very end, actually, there's a big comeback.
Sure.
And so it's not dramatically innovative from that point of view, but it is enjoyable. It is enjoyable, and I think they have set up the fourth movie quite nicely, which supposedly is coming out in December 2029.
Oh,
and the fifth movie is coming out in December 2031, I think. So
I didn't know there were two more. Oh gosh. I honestly don't understand what people see in these movies. I don't like them.
It's enjoyable. It's very colorful. It's a visual spectacle. It's stupid and fun. And I don't know. Every time I see an Avatar movie, there is a message. Obviously there is a sort of preserving
nature,
the planet, nature, wildlife, and so every time I do feel a little bit sad thinking about wildlife. They have these giant whales called the Tolkons in the movie, and people from Earth, they hunt these whales to extract this liquid from their bodies
that they can resell.
They can resell on Earth for billions of dollars, and so that really sucks when you see it in the movie. But otherwise, very enjoyable film. I liked the ending. I loved seeing it in 3D once again. Not in IMAX. I think next time I'll go IMAX 3D. I just went to regular 3D. But yeah. Fire and Ash.
Sounds good. I saw the last movie. I have not seen Fire and Ash. I think I will probably just watch this one when it streams, but I know that that's not as good an experience, but it also lets me pause it more. A long movie like that when I went to. So over the break, my main media was, we watched some movies and things during the holidays, but I started doing a rewatch of Parks and Rec. I know that you've done a lot of comedy rewatches with Sylvia over the years, and I haven't really done that in the past. I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. And since I've been doing our Unwind deals, I got a really good deal on Parks and Rec. It was like $30 for 7 seasons. So I picked that up, and I've been just watching through it, and I'm at about season 3 out of 7. And that show, it really holds up. I mean, there's some aspects of it that are a little dated, but it's a lot of fun, especially those early seasons when they're dealing with the pit and turning it into a park. It's a lot of fun. It changes quite a bit towards the end of the run of that show. Once you have Rob Lowe on it and some other people, but yeah, I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm still in the early seasons, but I'm really enjoying that. And I think, Federico, before we go, I should start up the Unwind deals again, because one of the movies that I recommended as one of my favorites of last year was Thunderbolts, which is the new Avengers, which is the kind of the ragtag anti-hero heroes in the Marvel universe that came out in 2025. And that movie right now is just $10 on in the TV app. That movie premiered, I think, at like $30, but it's gone down pretty quickly. So right now you can pick it up for exactly $9.99. Nice. So go for it and enjoy Bucky Barnes and the Red Guardian and all the other characters fighting their way to justice in a new and kind of weird Marvel movie.
Okay, all right. Well, it's good to be back, John.
It is good to be back. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. We have so much to uncover over the next couple of episodes of App Stories. So I don't even know where to begin.
That was the problem I was having. We need to talk about it because I have no idea where to begin. Both of us have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I have a lot of new things, including some on my desk right now.
Nice.
You have no idea what they are.
Very nice. I did not do any gear purchases, but I did build a lot of things. I did build a lot of things. Although
my break was very gear heavy.
I did get this thing in the mail, the MCon, which is
I don't know where mine is.
You haven't gotten a shipping notice? Yeah, they've been very slow,
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that on Unwind too. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us now that we're back from our holiday break and fresh and ready to go for 2026. You can find both of us over at macstories.net, and we are online. You can find us on social media. Just look for @Viticci. That's VITICCI. And I'm at John Voorhees, JOHNVOORHWS. Talk to you next week, Federico.
Ciao, John.